Hello, friends. Welcome back to another episode of Journey to Happiness. So, I hope you're all doing really well out there. We made it through the last couple of eclipses. So, congratulations to everybody out there who was feeling some really weird energies. It was just the astrology of it. So, it's all good. You know, a couple weeks ago, I talked to you guys about feeling stuck, and I got very vulnerable in one of my podcast episodes. You can look back a couple episodes and see that or listen to that if you want to. So lately I've been, you all know I'm a travel nurse, and but I've not really traveled. I'm a travel nurse, but I haven't really traveled. I've just been doing local contracts, and recently I felt this need to travel. And just bear with me here because I think this is going to be something a lot of us can relate to. So I found a new company who I've been in contact with, and I found a new recruiter. It seems to be a really great company. They were referred to me by a coworker slash friend, and the recruiter said something to me that really touched home to me because I told her I'd been doing a local contract, so I'm basically coming home every day. Nothing has really changed. It's just more money than regular nursing, but other than that, like nothing has really changed. And the reason I became a travel nurse was because I wanted to travel and I wanted to have adventures and I wanted to see the world. And just circumstances kind of kept me from doing that for a while. But all of my kids are grown now. I have a couple at home with me still, but of course, they're all adults technically. And I was talking to this recruiter and I was telling her that I didn't know if I wanted to travel out of state yet. First, I have to get my compact license, which is a license that gives you, so I don't have to like reapply for like every license in every state. And so it gives you just that leeway of being able to just kind of go in multiple different states and work. And I said to her that I wanted to kind of stay in Ohio. I wanted to be able to drive home within a couple hours if I needed to. And she asked me why. And I told her because I am very close with my family and I don't want to be far away from them. My parents are getting older. I'm cherishing all of the moments we have together. My children are grown, and before long, they're going to be moving out on their own. And, I'm just cherishing all of the family time that we get together. And I said, I'm just kind of waiting until, you know, the perfect time, basically, is kind of what I was leaning towards. And she said to me, she said, if you want to stay in Ohio or close to home, I will absolutely support you. I'm your recruiter and you can do whatever is best for you. But she told me a story about somebody that she knew. And she said this person had planned on retiring. He was going to retire in about 4 months. He had planned on traveling the world. They had saved up all of this money, him and his wife. They were going to travel together after retirement, things that they had always wanted to do. And he found out he had cancer and he died 4 months before retirement. And all of their saved money, all of the plans they had went with him. He never got to experience what he had planned on experiencing because he was waiting for retirement. He was waiting. And that opened up. This happened, I guess this death had happened several years ago. So she said that it opened up something in her. And she started, after that happened, she began to experience life and she began to travel the world. Now she's kind of looking at settling down now. But anyway, long story short, that really struck home to me because the thing is, we can wait till the perfect time. We can wait all day long, but you never know what the next day is going to bring. And so we can continue to wait for the perfect moment. But what if that perfect moment ever comes? You know? So that really opened up a lot for me. And so let's talk about soul pull for a minute. What is a soul pull? This is different than a soul contract. I've talked about soul contracts in previous episodes. That is kind of, just to briefly touch on that, that is the contract that we sign before we ever come to Earth. It is the contract we sign to learn the lessons we're going to learn, to meet the people we're going to meet, to have the experiences we're going to have. But a soul pull is different. A soul pull is exactly what it sounds like. It is that pull to do something. It is that pull that you feel that bubbles up inside of you and you can't shake it. Oftentimes, a soul pull can be very scary. It can feel very uncomfortable. A soul pull can be very minor and it can be very big. It could be as little as taking a walk. It can be as little as going out to a specific dinner. It can be as big as starting a podcast. It can be as big as traveling to another country. But it's something that bubbles up inside of you that you can't shake, and you just feel called to go and do that thing. It oftentimes is very uncomfortable. It is very scary because it's usually something new. And again, minor soul pools might not feel like this, but if it's like something big, it's going to feel very uncomfortable, very scary. Like this whole new adventure for me is feeling like, because I am about to join a new agency, I think. And it's really scary because change is scary. Like I like to say I try to embrace change a little bit, but it's also very scary. And so when we're on this path and this soul pull path, sometimes it's really scary. Now, soul pull it could also just be learning something new, taking a new course. It could be so many different things. But it can also be very scary. And I guess that's just what I wanted to talk to everybody about today because I am feeling that soul pull to follow this intuition that I just talked about, to follow this guidance of like I'm ready to travel. I've said before I don't want to be a nurse forever. I don't want to be a nurse in this capacity because I don't feel like I'm doing patients a service. Yes, I can go in and help you with your wound care. I can teach you how to do an IV. I can teach you about your health. But again, so much of the healthcare system is just putting a band-aid on things. It's not really getting to the root of the problem, which I'm going to go into the dirty secrets of the healthcare industry probably in like maybe the next couple episodes. So stay tuned for that because it might trigger some people, but we're going to really dive into some things that I've learned and some things that I've seen, which, I won't get into here because it's not the episode for that, but stay tuned for those. Right now, I just want to talk about the soul pool and, how sometimes when we're waiting for the perfect moment, that perfect moment never comes. So how do you know, like you're on your soul pool? How do you know that this is something that your higher guidance system is leading you towards? Well, first of all, oftentimes it's going to feel very effortless. So whether it's just going for a walk, whether it's recording a podcast, whether it's creating a course or a business, or whether it is just taking a course of study, any of that stuff, it's going to feel effortless and it's going to come from a sense of just needing to do it. And when the hit first comes, when you first get that like intuitive, like, okay, this is something I need to follow, oftentimes, well, actually, all the time, you're not going to have an emotion attached to that. So, like, you might just get this intuitive hit that this is what I need to do. Sorry, my phone's going off, guys. But you might just get that intuitive hit, but it's going to be very neutral. You're not going to have like an emotion. Like, you're not going to be excited or sad or scared or anything. Now that might come a few seconds later, but when you first get that like moment, that intuitive hit, there's no emotion. Now, you might get excited or scared literally like 5 seconds later, but at the beginning, you're not going to feel anything. It's just going to be like, oh, that's wild. Another thing, though, this is just me personally. Something else that I like to look at is I have kind of like a three-time rule. So I tend to be like, okay, like say I hear something, like this new company I might go to. I had a friend slash coworker recommend them to me. So I'm like, okay, like told me about all the benefits they have, told me how awesome they are, how awesome her recruiter was. Okay, that's cool. Like I pay attention to it, but it's like not like really stuck in my mind. I just like, oh, that's cool, right? If I hear that again from somebody else, which I did, I heard it from actually a patient's family member who actually used to work for the same company and told me how amazing they were. And this is actually a patient I wouldn't normally see because they weren't even in my area, but I was just helping out. That's like the second time that I heard about this company. So then I start to pay attention a little bit more. I'm like, okay, like this is the second time this company has been mentioned to me, et cetera, et cetera. Like, what's happening? Like, what's going on? And then if a third time happens, then I kind of like really start to pay attention. So these are just signs that I like to look for. Now, this is not saying that you have to do this. This is just my role personally, what I like to do. Because when and this could be anything. This could be a YouTube video or a TikTok video or something across your commercials on your TV. But the universe is going to give you signs, and it might come in a form of people saying things to you. It might come in a sign of, like I said, commercials or songs or videos on the internet. But the universe is going to make things pop into your awareness to kind of lead you down the path that you're supposed to be on. This is like the soul pull path. This is where you're supposed to go. So that's another thing. A third thing, I think I'm on three. I don't know. I lose track, but is you can also ask for a sign. You can ask for a sign, develop a sign, like, do a little meditation and say, like, what is my sign? Like some people have signs such as like cardinals. They might have a cardinal as their sign. They might have sunflowers. They might have a rainbow, a butterfly. And when you have your sign, you can say to the universe or to God or the higher power, "Hey, let me see a sign. Like let me see this sign that I'm on the right path." Now, for me, I do ask for signs, but oftentimes like my big sign is usually 111. So it's usually 111 or 1111. That's just kind of like I've always been really into angel numbers. If you want to know more about angel numbers, listen to my previous episode on angel numbers. That was last week. It goes into all of that information. But this is something that I have paid attention to. So when I decided to do the podcast, when I realized this was my sole pull at the moment was to start recording podcasts, I saw 111 everywhere. Like it was literally on license plates, it was in my bank statements, it was on my total. Like if I would go to the store, like I would see it on my receipts. I was seeing it on my miles in my car. Like when you look at your miles, like how many, because I have to keep track of my miles for my job. Everywhere. It was everywhere. Once I started recording the podcast, those numbers started disappearing because I listened to them. I listened to the sign and I did what I was feeling called to do. Recently, as I'm thinking about going into this new adventure, into this new travel agency, and maybe traveling a little bit here and there, um, I have started seeing the ones again. I have started seeing 111. So that is my sign that even though it feels really scary for me, that is like a sign for me that I'm supposed to kind of follow this. Now, it doesn't mean you have to like make a huge jump. So for me, just another example for this whole like travel nurse thing, I'm looking at, staying local for the summer. Then I'm looking at maybe come fall venturing out a little bit. So I live in Ohio. I'm thinking about venturing out maybe to like once I get my compact license, maybe like West Virginia, Kentucky, Pennsylvania, all the surrounding states, and kind of doing things slowly. But I am feeling called to travel. Now, again, I don't want to be a nurse forever. I think I can offer more to the world than just my nursing degree. And I think I have a lot more knowledge to offer, but that is my daytime job right now. So I don't know where this new adventure is going to take me. But that's the beauty of like the universe. And that is the beauty of letting go because we never know where the universe is going to take us. But one thing I know for sure is that the universe always has your back. And when you're like manifesting or when you're like thinking about the things that you want, you should always say it's this or something better because oftentimes the universe will provide you with like a better life than you ever even dreamed possible. It will like lead you down roads that you never even saw coming. So that is the space that I'm in right now. And I just wanted to share this brief little podcast with you folks because I want us all to stop waiting. I want us all to start realizing that life is really short. We never know when we're going to take our last breath. We never know when tragedy is going to hit. And I don't mean to get all dark here because I like to keep like this faith-based positive mindset, but the fact is it's true. Like we are ever evolving, ever ending souls, right? So we never die. Like, we're not going to, like, I mean, this person that we are right now might pass over, but like, we never die. Our souls go on forever and ever and ever. But the person we are does have an end to it. Like my Christina Renee Lax is going to have an end one day. My son Ethan Michael Lax, he's going to have an end one day. Like we are all going to end one day. Like it's just inevitable. Like we all die one day as far as the person we are right now, but our souls go on forever and ever and ever. So when I say life is short, I mean that the life we're living right now. So we came here, like I came here as Christina Lax to experience a life, a certain kind of life, to have these lessons and to become a certain person. And so when we wait and we don't follow that soul pull and we just continue to do the same shit because it's comfortable, then we're not really living what we're supposed to be living. We're not evolving, we're not growing. So, really, like the best things from life come on the other side of fear. So, I'm not perfect. Obviously, I'm still like really scared about this whole new venture and I don't know where it's going to lead. And I don't even know if it's going to happen this summer or not. But I am feeling really called to for that and we'll see where it leads, right? We'll see where it leads. Like I still don't know how I am supposed to be serving people on a greater level. All I know right now is that my nursing career, I feel stuck. So I want to expand on that. And I want to keep doing these podcasts and talking to you guys. And other than that, I don't know where the fuck I'm going. Like, I have no clue. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. I would love to do retreats one day. I would love to have courses one day. I would love to like just connect with you guys. But I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know when it's going to happen. It's just what I feel in my body. And that is what it means to let go and to just trust in the universe and trust in divine timing and trust in the guidance that you receive. So I love you guys so much. And that's all I have to say for today. So just feel free to connect with me on Facebook. You can just hit the follow button and follow me there. And I need to get like my other social media going. I need to get Instagram and all the other stuff, but it's just, nursing is a busy life and I'm just enjoying my family and my patients and you know, one day it'll all happen. And again, I got to stop waiting too. So again, I'm not perfect here. I am still struggling through some of these things I talk about and we're all in this together. And that's all we can do. All we can do is what we can do, right? So, I love you guys so much. And until next time, I love you. Bye for now. Mwah.